I'm giving somebody the blues today.
If you're familiar with Twitter, then you know that there is constantly some viral post that's just going around and around and around, especially in the fighting game community. All of these different opinions and hot takes, it stirs up a massive conversation, really argument, but conversation. And this just gets everyone involved. We have one here today that just went super viral. 4.8 million views, 1,682 quotes. Now I tried to scroll through all of these to find the best ones, but it was so many and I don't know how far that I got through. Twitter should add a feature where you can like filter the quote tweets to see like the most popular, the most unpopular. There's probably some gems in there that I missed, but I got a lot of them. And I want to talk about these because I think some of these bring up excellent opinions, but then also some of them are hot takes galore. Before we get into the conversation, make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, but also in the description you can follow me on Twitter and you can also join the channel and become a member. Moon Salt exclusive. Join the channel, become a member, and gain access to a bunch of amazing perks. So it says, what's the fighting game hot take that will have you locked up like this? Patrick Star chained in a coliseum and everyone's saying the worst to him. I guess before I get into all of these, I'll go first and say my hot take. I would say something along the lines of leaks is actually a good thing because it gives you more information about the product that you're going to buy and something like that. I don't know. I'm just going off the top of the dome. But let's get into these actual typed out tweets. The first one, playing a character because they make you horny is cringe. Okay. So I play around with the whole waifu community, like, oh, Mommy Mishima and Mommy June and, you know, oh, feet tier list, all this stuff, right? I do play around with it a lot. But I do think, like, if you're really someone out here, like, buying, like, statues and, like, you know, wife pillows and all that stuff, it's crazy. Here's the argument that I always made. You can't get mad at people for being attracted to Lily. The real question should be, why are the developers sexualizing Lily and drawing that community in? For example, if they put a character who's, let's say, a WWE superstar, and then a bunch of wrestling heads show up, you can't be like, whoa, what are you guys doing here? It's the character that's bringing in this player base, so you really got to turn that attention towards the devs. Here's a really good one, and this is what inspired me to do this video. Joey Fury, phased Joey Fury. The majority of tournaments have no transparency in seeding process. Decisions like who goes in what pools are made with TO help, but utterly based on friends who are sometimes even playing in a tournament. As a result, events have no competitive integrity at all. This one is really interesting because one, just generally, I'm seeing more and more players speak up about how tournaments are being ran, what kind of monitors is being used, the rules. Like I said, bro, when there's millions of dollars on the line, it's a couple of 1,000, like you do gotta have like some kind of format. And really this once again goes to Bandai Namco, Capcom, Nintendo, the developers of these games. They should step in and say, hey, okay, we need to make a format on how the seeding is being placed and seeding is being done. Because, for example, team members, like let's say Arsenal and Ash's team, the tournament organizers try to separate them so you don't have two people from the same team or two people from the same region knock each other out. You don't want to travel 1,000 miles to get beat by someone you play every day. But at the same time, is that a form of rigging the tournament? Okay, this is a good one. This is a really good one. New characters is greater than returning favorites. This is like the biggest argument in the Tekken community. Why are they putting Aquafina? Why are they putting, I ain't gonna say the other lead character's name, but why are they putting these characters when they have Baek Dusan, they have Bruce, they have Raven, they have Michelle, they have all of these great characters of the past. Now, I don't know if it's just because I don't have nostalgia for those characters, because I really don't, right? I don't have like some super great memory of Baek Dusan throwing around his feet and falling in love with his feet. I just don't. I know you guys do, but I don't. But at the same time, it's like, I don't think these fighting games should be bound to decisions and ideas that was made 30 years ago. Those characters had their glory days, you know, that's why you guys have so many fond memories. But in order for these games, just anything to stay relevant, you have to change and adapt and evolve. I love how fighting games, they always try to pay homage to like what came before. You talk about Baek-Dusan moves being given to Harang. Like they try to keep these characters alive in many ways because they know people love them. But at the same time, I think you should, if a character's not working, get rid of them. I remember I asked the question in a live stream. I asked, if a character is not popular, how many second chances should they get before they're no longer put into a game? For example, Bruce was replaced 3 times. How many more times do they give Bruce before they say, okay, this character's not working, move on? Same thing for Gonry, for whoever, right? That's the question I pose to you guys. If a character is not working, they're just not popular, how many times do you try before you just give up on the character and move on? Let's move on. People would be better at these games if they weren't so focused on hot takes. I don't know why skill is like the most sought after thing in fighting games. Not everyone will be Arsenal and Ash. It's just that simple. You know, some people will just be whatever skill you are right now. Some people will stay that forever. And me personally, bro, that's why I don't even focus on skill. I just focus on having fun. Fun is greater than winning. That would be my hot take, you know. I really don't care about winning or performing. I did that. I've been there, done that already. I spent like 4 or 5 years trying to be good at Tekken, and now it's more so about fun. Here's an interesting one. The competitive scene is not what keeps a game in business. Now, this is true. It's true. I remember Eris was on the Boomcast a little while ago, and he was kind of talking about this as well. He said something along the lines of the competition or competitive scene doesn't matter as much as they think they do. And I think that's true, right? The hardcore, die-hard players, you guys got to realize you're a fraction of the player base. We always make fun of like green ranks and stuff, but the green ranks is the majority of the player base. So what would you focus on? Would you focus on the top tier players who are really never happy? They're never happy. Or would you focus on the people who just like, they get off work, they play for an hour, they buy some DLC, and then they go to sleep, you know? The whole entire gaming industry is focusing on casuals. They're dumbing down the game, simplifying the game. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it's profitable. Like, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Tekken 7 is a perfect example of this. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 was for the competitive scene. The things you guys are saying right now, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 was and is. Go play it. That game was the worst selling Tekken of all time, and the developers saw that, and it was like, okay, well, we made this game for competition and competition doesn't even play it, let's make a game for casuals. And then boom, Tekken 7 was created, and it was the most successful Tekken ever. So how can you blame them for continuing that trend in Tekken 8? Simplification, easier. I mean, vote with your wallet. Oh, here's a good one. Older games didn't have any less or more neutral than now. Fighting games are BS by design, and the best players navigate that BS and win despite of that. Stop glorifying older games when they had even more broken brain dead. I agree with this. People always say, Tekken 7 sucks, Tekken 8 looks horrible, Tekken 3 was the GOAT, Tekken 5 was the GOAT, but they forget that in those games, characters had moves that kill you in one shot, infinite combos, and just all kind of like crazy stuff. And this is why I always say that they will never remaster a fighting game like that, because if you do remaster Tekken 3, you have to rebalance all of it, because it's all like crazy, bro. The damage scaling